Good evening, everyone. Kalla here. Welcome to my live stream. Glad you could make it today. So today I'm going to finish working my way through this demo for this upcoming game called Mirage Noir, for which there are links in the description box. I believe that Kickstarter starts tomorrow. So last time, our protagonist Uni, who works in a detective agency but doesn't get any good cases at all, got sent to, well, first she had essentially a premonition of the future that included a picture with some people she definitely wasn't close enough to know. And after being sent to a disturbance with a guy who wasn't drunk but turned out to be ill with some kind of strange virus, from which she was saved by gangster Alexei Dorla, who was then arrested for a murder that her boss was investigating. Then Uni ended up involved in breaking him out of jail, along with the crown, by assistance from the Crown Prince, a master of disguise who's also a cosplayer, and a hacker. And now she's fallen in with that group and is working on basically clearing Alexei's name. We split off to go investigate with Alexei because I'm not sure he's safe to be left alone. And that's a pretty basic summary of what happened last time, I think. Hello, Drag. Hope you're doing well. Right, let's question this gangster. Do you mind if I ask you a couple questions? Very well, but I will not answer anything I deem detrimental to the boss. Well, this guy's very loyal, if nothing else. I understand, thank you. So, do you know why they arrested Alexei? I heard that the police found his fingerprints on a decisive piece of evidence Misha had in his possession. Ooh. Fingerprints, huh? Any idea what it was, Alexei? I'd be surprised if Misha had anything that didn't have my fingerprints on it. We've known each other for a while. I kind of just take whatever I want from his pockets at this point. It was a letter. A letter? Well, that doesn't help at all. I get his mail at least once a week. Do you know the contents of the letter? No, I wasn't given any other information. Really? That's all they know? I thought it'd be more than this, given how quickly they seem to turn on Alexei. Sasha doesn't care about the evidence. He was most likely trying to cut me off. What do you mean? He probably assumed that Misha had been planning to betray the gang since the ring was gone, right? And since I'm closest to Misha, Sasha probably thought either I actually did kill him, or I was working together with him. Either way, you'd just let the police take care of me. That is correct. This Sasha Orla guy sounds like a fun guy to be around. So, about the ring. Wait, sorry. Is the ring you're talking about? Yeah, this thing. We'd never take it off voluntarily. Everyone knows that if you remove it, you no longer want to be part of the gang. So I was right. It must be the missing ring I noticed earlier. if the killer really did take the ring from Misha's body, then that means they probably knew of its significance, right? Unless they just took it to flog it. But probably it's relevant. I'd normally suspect a random robbery. Yeah, okay. But if this was the only thing taken, then it seems more likely that it was deliberately removed. Does everyone know about it? We don't go around advertising it, but it's not a secret or anything. Everyone sees us wearing the ring anyway, so I'm sure people can put together what it means. The Orla ring has been added to evidence. What do we have to say about that, huh? A ring that all members of the Orla gang wear. It supposedly symbolises their loyalty to the gang, and removing it is seen as betrayal. Here's mine, see? One time it got stuck and I almost thought I was going to lose that finger. Yeah, surely you'd take it off to, like, wash your hands, right? Otherwise it's going to get real gross under there really fast. Where were you two at the time of the incident? Why are you asking so many questions? Are you with the police? Oh, no! The air suddenly feels chillier. I think I pushed too far. He reaches down, maybe to pull out a weapon, and I instinctively take a step back. Alexei swiftly steps forward and places himself between me and Nikolai. Stop trying to intimidate her, Nico. I won't allow it. My apologies. His hand drops back to his side, posture relaxing, and I can breathe again. You can apologize by answering her question. Very well. Alexei steps away and nods at me to continue. I quickly mouth, "Thanks," at him. The boss called me to Celestial around 3 a.m. He spent most of the night in a private room with his favourite hostess, while I drank with some of the girls outside. All of them have given their testimonies already. There was also no footage of us leaving the club. The police have determined that we were not involved. So, both of them have an alibi for the murder. I originally thought it could be them, given Celestial's proximity to the crime scene. But if they were both with witnesses all night, then it would have been impossible. Maybe it really was an issue with another gang. Perhaps Misha wanted to switch, but then got killed while trying to do so. I can't really rule out that possibility, since I'm not that knowledgeable about gangs in general. Maybe Alexei would know more. The sound of footsteps thumping up the stairs interrupts that train of thought. Looks like we have more company. Any chance they're your friends? Would a lie make you feel better? All right. So the situation's not looking good. I do not have orders to impede your escape, so you are free to leave. However, I will not be aiding you. I will not fight against the boss's allies without good reason. Isn't Alexei included in that as well? I mean, they're literally blood related. Alexei doesn't look surprised, though. I guess this is another strange thing that's commonplace in his world. Get behind me. Are you sure you'll be okay? It sounds like there's a lot of them. You gonna help? Throw some punches? I can probably knock one out if I use a chair. Maybe. Hopefully. As much as I'd like to see that, it's okay. You did all the work so far. This is my specialty now. Let me show off a bit, yeah? Alexei, how dare you come back, you traitor! You think we'd welcome you after you killed Misha? Get him, boys! Don't let him escape! A bunch of them crowd around the doorway, and some of them are even holding weapons. I'm sure some detectives can do self-defense, right, Drag? It's probably a good idea to have at least a little bit. Is Alexei really going to be okay? There are so many of them. I turn to look at him, a little panicked, but he's just grinning and cracking his knuckles. Lots of confidence for a group who's never beat me before. Not even close. You're outnumbered! Even if it's you! You can't win against all of us! Yeah? Try me. Step back, girlie. It might get a bit bloody here. I nod and quickly move back. I'm self-aware enough to know I'd just be a hindrance. Good. Alexei stands between me and the rest of the crowd, rolling his shoulders casually. You! Alexei doesn't even give him a chance to finish his sentence before his fist flies out, colliding straight with the gangster's stomach. That's all you got? And just like that, the floodgates are opened. Several of them jump at him, and Alexei deftly avoids their punches. With unexpectedly graceful footwork, he sidesteps the incoming strikes and launches his own counterattacks. I think I just heard something cracking. Oh no, he got hit! One of the gangsters manages to land a punch on Alexei's arm, but he just grins. With practiced ease, he grabs the other gangster by the wrist and throws him across a desk. The papers on it go flying, but Alexei doesn't waste a beat. He's moving to the next target before they can even figure out what's going on. Whoa! He's good! I mean, I knew he was given his reputation, but it's different to see it with my own eyes. Suddenly, I notice a gangster sneaking up behind Alexei with a bat. He seems to be approaching in Alexei's blind spot. What should I do? Yell! Alexei! I yell out to warn him, but he surprisingly turns towards me first instead, as if I'm the one being attacked. The gangster swings the bat down, and Alexei finally notices. He blocks the attack with his arm and knocks the gangster out with his other hand. Who's paying to fix the computers? Clearly Sasha Nala! Or I guess technically anyone who's getting like protection money from and things, I guess. No, it's not protection this one, is it? It's loan sharking. So the loan shark money is paying for it, I guess. Let out a sigh of relief as the gangster falls to the ground. It doesn't escape my notice how Alexei glances down at his arm with a slight wince of pain before turning toward me. You alright there? Yeah, what about you? Just fine. I'm not the one you should be worried about anyway. He gestures towards the room, and it's only then that I notice a bunch of people lying on the ground unmoving. You did this all by yourself? Piece of cake. Didn't even break a sweat, honestly. What about your arm? You got hit with a bat. You didn't even swing that hard, see? The sound of the crack still echoes in my mind, but Alexei waves his arm in front of my face easily. The rumors don't do you justice. You really gotta stop believing those. Anyway, ready to go? There'll probably be some more people waiting for me downstairs, so I'll have to take care of them first. Thought of being near another fight frightens me a little, but it seems to be the only way out. Okay, well, let's just get this over with if you're sure you can handle it. I'm a little surprised by my lack of hesitation. Can't tell if it's because of the adrenaline, or if I just feel safer now I've seen Alexei's skills in action. Regretting choosing to come with me yet? Just a bit. Today's been the most action-packed day of my entire life. Yeah, that a good or a bad thing? That depends a lot on whether you can get us out of here safely. Well, I shouldn't disappoint you then, should I? By the time we get to the hideout, everyone else is already back. Welcome back. Sammy's there to greet us when we return, though he makes a face when he sees the state that we're in. There you are! We've been waiting for you two! Wait, what happened? Uni, are you okay? Hello, I'm the one injured here. Does anyone care about me? You'll live. Ow, ow! Not if you keep poking my bruises, I won't. Ow, what the fuck? Your precious ice pack. Did you really need to slap me with it? Ran into trouble? A little bit, yeah. Some of the other gangsters found us while we were still there. Alexei took care of them though, so everything's okay. I looked pretty cool, didn't I? He seems to have gotten his arm wrapped up, and there's a strangely cute band-aid taped on one of his fingers. You didn't kill them, did you? Why is that your first thought? I don't make it a habit of offing my co-workers. They're more useful to me as errand boys than dead. Very altruistic of you. Yep, that's me. Last year's community service winner. Well, I'm just glad I'm just glad you two are safe. And what about you, Jam? Everything okay on your end? Yep. Honestly, it looks like you guys have the most excitement out of all of us. I glance around at the others, and they do look like they managed to go through their own investigations without a hitch. If you're feeling up to it, should we share what we've learned, or do you need to rest first? Let's do it now. The threat of Terry's magical ice pack has cured me. My heart's still thumping from the adrenaline. It was a little too close for comfort. Alexei hadn't seemed concerned at all, though. He had disposed of everyone waiting downstairs quickly and efficiently. He looked kind of cool back there. Not that I'll ever tell him that, of course. Very well. Then I'll begin by sharing what I found. A letter was found on the victim's body that contained Alexei's fingerprints. Yeah, we found that out too. I pull out my notebook and begin jotting everything down. That settles it. He's the killer. I'm the designated mail boy. It'd be weird if my fingers weren't found. I don't know how gangs work, but isn't that supposed to be some lackey's job? Alexei likes doing that kind of thing. He's the one who cleans the place too. Sorry, he's the one who cleans this place too. Wait, really? A gangster who likes to clean? Don't tell me. Is it because of some unresolved childhood trauma where he had to wipe up the blood of his family? I don't know what kind of backstory you're crafting for me in your head, but it's not that exciting. I had to work a lot of house cleaning jobs when I was younger in order to make money. Kind of started enjoying it after a while. They were fine hiring you? Why not? I was just your normal teenager who was desperate enough to take any low-paying job. They probably loved that they could underpay me. That's the most relatable thing he's said all day. May I continue? Yeah, sorry. Don't mind him, he's just jealous because he doesn't know how to use a map. Sorry, no, mop, sorry. He's just jealous because he doesn't know how to use a mop. Isn't it pretty self-explanatory? You might think so. I have no idea how to properly mop. It's not a skill I've learned. All my rooms are carpeted. As I was saying, there was an envelope found on the victim's body with Alexei's fingerprints on it. Yeah, I think that's how you... I think that's pretty much how you use it, Drag, but I feel like there's some strategy involved. I don't know. I guess you've kind of... I guess one thing you've got to know is how not to paint yourself into a corner, as it were, right? Or just be willing to walk on a wet floor. There was a card inside that contained the smiling mask and rose logo. Wait, what? It's a Blackthorn case? Supposedly. Why did they arrest me then? It sounded like the police wanted to frame this as a copycat. Not only that, there was an anonymous tip that claimed they saw you near the crime scene. It sounds like I have a big fan. Sorry, can I ask what a Blackthorn case is? Terry, can we tell her? It might be hard to continue the discussion if she doesn't know. He's really thinking about it. Whoever or whatever this Blackthorn is must be a pretty big deal. This is to remain top secret. Of course. Blackthorn is a serial killer. They're the vigilante type who targets corrupt individuals. Oh. Sorry, what? The words that come out of his mouth are so out of nowhere that I almost think I've misheard him. The government keeps their existence a secret to prevent public support. But to be honest, there's not much we know about them. They rarely leave behind any clues. All you need to know is that this is their signature. They leave a copy behind at every crime scene. Sent a copy to your phone. smiling mask and a rose. Have I seen this before somewhere? Looks vaguely familiar. What was that? Do you have any other questions? I sneak another glance at the card, but nothing else happens. What was that all about? It's just like when I tried to think about the vision thing this morning. Does that mean it's related? Detective? Oh, sorry. Yeah, we can move on. I feel like I just got a whole bunch of information dumped on me with no explanation. It's hard to process this quickly. I should ask later though. I don't want to waste any more of their time. Blackthorn card has been added to evidence. A card sent by the serial killer Blackthorn. They apparently only target corrupt individuals. The general public is not aware of them. I would be very happy if I didn't have to see this logo ever again. Anyway, can we really not clear Alexei's name even with the card? I have no proof it was a copycat. I believe a discussion should still be worthwhile. I have a suspicion that the police merely needed someone to arrest, and Alexei was the easiest target. If we offer them new possibilities, they may be inclined to drop the charges. Remember, we are not the official investigators on this case. We do not need definitive proof. I mean, apparently the police don't need definitive proof either. Our objective is simply to get them to continue investigating from another angle. I see. So the goal this time isn't necessarily to figure out the killer's identity, but rather to come up with a possible solution that Alexei couldn't be responsible for. That is correct. It would also help me build a more ironclad case. If I bring up Blackthorn without any other evidence, they will spend the entire time trying to poke holes into my argument. I noticed this earlier as well, but Prince Terry really doesn't seem to have much control over the police higher up. Besides, I'd love to find out who it was that sent that anonymous tip in. Maybe even send them a little thank you note for their troubles. It appears that... It appears that and the fingerprints were the basis for Alexei's arrest. If we could learn more about those, then it could be to our advantage. You guys are right. Sorry. It's cool, Jam. I know you were looking out for me. As for me, Sasha seems to believe Misha was trying to betray the gang. His ring was gone and all that. Couldn't it have been a robbery? Misha has a lot more valuable stuff. I think it's more likely the ring was taken on purpose. Makes sense. That's it from me. Can I go next then? Sure, go ahead. I got a picture of the crime scene. The body was gone by the time I got there, but another officer gave me the photo. He was found in the dumpster? Yeah, he was apparently sitting right on top of the garbage bags. The person who discovered the body saw him right away after he lifted the dumpster lid. Maybe they jumped and dumped him. I got the luminol testing results earlier. It seems they didn't find large amounts of blood anywhere in the alley. Ooh, is the alley not the murder location? I suppose that means he was killed elsewhere and brought there specifically. No traces of blood has been added to the evidence. There was no blood found at the crime scene. Maybe the body was moved? Oh, and the doors at the back of that alley don't open, so it's basically a dead end there. Locked doors has been added to the evidence. The doors at the back of the alleyway are both locked. What's the point of doors if they're always locked? Seems like a waste. Yeah, seems like you might as well just have a wall, right? And I also went digging through the trash, but I didn't find anything. Trash bags has been added to the evidence. Ooh, we can scroll in the evidence now. Garbage bags that were in the same dumpster that Misha's body was found in. Doesn't seem like there's anything strange about them. And I can't believe I got the pity evidence ad. Can I see that? The picture? Here you go. Sammy takes the photo and starts wiping at it with his sleeve. Oh, what are you doing? I thought it was a stain, but it's not. He points at the front of the dumpster, where there looks to be a strange white mark. Oh yeah, down here. It's faint, but it appears to be some sort of marking. Paint, perhaps? It appears to be faded, however. Yeah, Drag. I know about those. The fake houses that are covering up the cutting for the underground, right? I can't remember where they are. Well, where exactly, anyway. I think there's some similar fake houses I heard about in Paris that are covering up, like, a substation. It's kind of interesting, that sort of thing. It was raining earlier today, so maybe it slowly washed off then. Ooh, right. I think it did rain a bit before I met up with Theo this morning. Strange mark has been added to the evidence. A strange paint mark on the dumpster that was washed away. I always wanted to try graffiti. It looks so cool. Oh, one more thing. I noticed the hotel's balconies were lined up right above the dumpster. Maybe they used that to escape somehow. Or to dump the body off of. I don't know. Hotel balcony has been added to the evidence. The third floor balcony is right above the crime scene. Could it be related? It seems like bad design to put a balcony right over some garbage dumpsters. Yeah, that does seem like a balcony that I wouldn't want to spend time on. Seems it would smell. Third floor, huh? That's the second floor for me, I believe, since I'm assuming we're going with American terms. Why is there a balcony in the alleyway to begin with? Yeah! Imagine you check into a hotel and you're like, yeah, my room's got a balcony. And then you go and stand on the balcony and it's just looking over an alleyway full of trash. That would be like the worst view. I suppose it would be useful if you were a smoker. But other than that, what would you use a balcony over an alleyway for? Wow, you did a lot. Good job. Thanks. Well, while you were out frolicking, I was busy working as slowly as possible. So he says, but I can see the computer screens behind him with footage of the alleyway, all at various moments in time. He's clearly been working hard. Here, the security logs from the camera at the front of the alleyway. Did the cameras not show what was going on inside? Yeah, let's look at the security log. So we have person A, who went in at 8:30 carrying nothing. Person B at 9 was a garbage collector. Person C at 10 was Alexei. Person D at 10:45 was wheeling a luggage. Why would you wheel a luggage into that alley anyway? Person E at 11 AM discovered the body. So if this is a dead-end alley, why are so many people walking into it? No. Of course it couldn't be that easy. Alleyway camera log has been added to the evidence. Oh, and here's a diagram of the overall layout. Alright, 2 dumpsters. The balcony, the camera, the entrance, and the dead end. Diagram of the crime scene has been added to evidence. So, camera log, we read that out already. I mean, this person here, who entered 15 minutes before the body was found, wheeling a luggage. Like, how big was that luggage? Was it big enough to contain a body? That's what I want to know. And the diagram of the crime scene. Diagram of the alleyway, drawn by Sammy. My magnum opus. Why are the dumpsters drawn so big? Oh, right! I suddenly remembered something while looking at this. There was a posted schedule near the dumpster that said they collected garbage every Tuesday at 9 AM. Wait, so why was that other dumpster still full? Because, like, that's not a lot of time for it to get filled again, right? Well, I suppose it depends. This garbage collection schedule has been added to the evidence. We have so much evidence now. The garbage collectors come to pick up trash at 9 AM this morning. I wonder if they lose their sense of smell more easily. Yeah, probably. In that case, that must be person B in the log. Here. He shows us the video footage. A garbage collector can No, a garbage collector can be seen walking into the alleyway, emptying out one dumpster before leaving. Yeah. Yeah, I guess maybe they only do one at a time. Is that all for the findings? Shall we start discussing properly now? Okay. I think I've jotted everything down in my notebook. I should check the evidence if I ever want to reference anything. Wait. One more thing. Was the luggage person D had big enough for a body? Alexei? Because you're the only person in this room who would know how big a piece of luggage would need to be to hide a body in it. Huh? He looks a bit out of it, and it's only then that I realise he hasn't spoken in a while. Are you alright? Yeah, just peachy. You lie to the cops with that poker face? Yeah, actually. It says a lot about them, doesn't it? Clearly, you're feeling well enough to be making quips. Should I get you something to drink? Quick breather? Beer? Juice? That sounds good too. Thanks, Jem. Jem zooms off toward the kitchen and we take a small break. Sammy and Prince Terry seem perfectly content to sit in silence, but I'm still a little worried, so I glance over at Alexei. His back is to me, and I wonder what kind of expression he's currently making. What can I say, though? Does he even want to hear anything from me? I'm just an outsider here. I'm sure he'd rather be comforted by someone he cares about. I reach forward to tug on his sleeve and ask if he's okay. Uni? Yeah, she tries way too hard. It feels like a chore talking to her. She's kind of annoying, you know? Always so nosy, butting into other people's business. She really needs to learn to stay in her own lane and stop prying. My arm falls back into my lap. I shouldn't overstep. I can't bring myself to say anything, and Jem returns with a glass of juice before I can convince myself otherwise. Alexei finishes the cup quickly, wiping his hands on his pants before sitting up. Okay, break time's over. What were we talking about? I can't tell if he's actually feeling better, or just pretending, but he seems eager to move on in either case. I hope he's not pushing himself. Luggage. Body. Sammy pulls up the footage again and slants the screen in Alexei's direction. Nah, it doesn't look big enough. Well, not unless the corpse was chopped up. Didn't ask. Just being thorough. Leave no boulders unturned and all that, yeah? Please, just stop talking. Misha wasn't seen entering the alleyway, right? How did his body magically appear in the garbage then? Well, if it's not the person with the luggage, then is the garbage collector suspect? Like, did they bring a body in whatever receptacle they used to empty the trash out. None of the people who entered during the time frame seem to be carrying the body either. That seems to be a good place to start. Let's begin the discussion from there. Ooh, discussion start. Our first question is, how did the body enter the alleyway? Well, I guess I can think of two options. Yeah, it is weird that they only collected one. So, I mean, I'm kind of suspicious of the garbage collector. I think there's basically two ways that that body could have gotten into the alley. Either the garbage collector brought it in, or it got dropped off the third floor balcony. Thinking about what we know so far, there's only one area it could be. How did the body enter the alleyway? If we're going with... Yeah, because I don't know what the garbage collector's stuff even looks like. Yeah, I'm going to go with my second option. It was dropped off the balcony. It has to be the balcony, right? If the front of the alleyway is covered by the cameras, and the doors in the back are locked, then the only way in is from above. That makes sense. In that case, we should next consider how the body was brought in from above. Culprit flew. Elaborate. The culprit brought the body down and then grew wings and went whoop whoop back to the balcony. Ah, I see. Maybe they tied a rope to him and lowered the body that way? Or perhaps they simply dropped the corpse. What do you think, Detective? There were a few theories proposed, so let's get some more information out of them. Characters participating in a discussion segment will have coloured icons. Click on them to hear more about their theory. Okay, so let's go left to right. Oh no, we have to click here first. If you believe a certain theory is correct, press the submit button on that character's statements. Story mode is off by default. You can turn it on in the settings and the correct answer will always be marked. That's useful. Alright. What? What? Isn't this your theory? Sorry. I'm not used to people taking me seriously. Please don't joke around. I'm not. It's not impossible. Haven't you heard of the case where a painter witnessed a body flying over the top of a burning building? No? Everyone here is uncultured. Now that he mentions it, it does sound vaguely familiar. Anyway, it doesn't apply to this situation. There are no burning bridges, or painters, or flying bodies. Obviously, people can't fly, Terry. Okay, we have... The third floor balcony is right above the dumpsters. It would have been easy to simply drop the corpse. There were no signs of fall damage though, right? That is true. They would have needed something to cushion the fall. You mean like the garbage? Although I'm guessing then some of the bags would have split, right? And we have the evidence that that there's nothing up with the garbage. Which means that probably lowering the body with the rope is the best option here. That would have been extraordinarily risky, would it not? The alleyway is quite open. Anyone could have seen the body being lowered. Maybe they just moved quickly? The problem with tying a rope to the body, though, is that you've then got to undo the rope. So, I mean, I kind of still like just dropping it. Because that was my initial theory. Yeah, I'm gonna go with drop. So, how often do you look down a random alleyway? Yeah, good question, right? I guess maybe this alleyway is wider than we're thinking. Let's go with this. Would the body dropping not make noise? It's lively enough around that area that a singular thump shouldn't cause much commotion. I see. There's still the question of what they used to prevent fall damage. Okay. We get to grab the trash bags and submit them. They could have used the garbage bags to cushion the fall. That would make sense. They would help reduce the sound of impact as well, depending on what was in them. Oh, you're right. There are still some trash bags in the right dumpster. You can see them in the crime photo right now. Huh? Is there something wrong with what Jem just said right now? There is something wrong with it. On the basis that why on earth are those trash bags there? So you can see them. He said you. Alright. Let's get the crime scene photo again. Oh, those are kind of on top of him, rather than underneath him, right? Let's go with yes. That is a little weird. Which part? Right, then we submit the garbage collection schedule. Isn't it weird that the trash bags are still there? The garbage collectors should have emptied them this morning, right? Yes. It is too convenient to mark this as a coincidence. There is a reason why that dumpster wasn't emptied this morning. Does someone bribe the garbage collectors into not emptying that one? Maybe you can ask the garbage collectors. They have already been spoken to. They claim not to remember. Can you even do that? What? Bribe the garbage collectors? I mean, you can certainly try. But they probably have a thing in their contracts and stuff about not taking bribes. Well, not the contracts, but like the employee handbook. I've definitely had employee handbooks that say you're not allowed to take bribes. Even though I've never done anything that anyone would consider bribing me for. Sus. Perhaps. Though given the amount of work they have to do, I'm inclined to believe them. Maybe you should hire more people. Thank you, Sammy. Does that go above or below your suggestion to make doxing people but only the annoying ones legal? Below, obviously. Well, if we won't be getting anything from the garbage collectors, why don't we operate on the assumption that the culprit arranged for it on purpose? They must have done something to the right dumpster to prevent it from being emptied. Oh, maybe that's what the white mark is for. Maybe it was some kind of glue? I mean, you can paint things shut, right? People do that with windows all the time. At least those old sash windows that you can, like, lift up. People paint them shut all the time, right? Yep. The question is what? Do you have an idea? Maybe it was disguised as something else. What do you mean? Take cosplaying, for example. Sometimes I don't get all the details correct when making costumes. But people generally recognize the character as long as I have the most distinguishing features. Yep. That is an important thing to know about cosplay when you're making your own thing. You don't necessarily have to do all the details. So maybe the culprit was able to dissuade the garbage collectors from opening the right one because it seemed like something else instead. Oh, so as long as they didn't think it was a dumpster, they wouldn't touch it. Exactly. It'd also have to be something that is not considered out of place either. What else would you find down an alleyway that was approximately dumpster-sized? I'd like to think they would have remembered seeing something such as a grand piano, for example. Why a grand piano? It's a bit hard to figure it out since there weren't any clues left behind. Wait a sec. I don't think that's entirely true. Right, we need the strange mark. There it is. There was that weird mark. Oh, yeah, that white thing? I'm still not exactly sure what it's supposed to represent. Graffiti, perhaps? Don't know why they'd choose to spray a little white thing on the dumpster when they have a whole canvas around them. So we're trying to figure out what it could have been disguised as, yeah? Yes. Do you have any suggestions? A giant water cooler. Probably not. Maybe a recycling bin? It has a similar shape, right? Yeah, recycling bin is a good option. Because that would be the same shape. And would be picked up on a different day. Probably. Or even a different week. It could have also been a portable bathroom. A porta potty is a very different shape, Sammy. The suggestions seem to be all over the place this time. Let's get them to describe their things. Why do you think it might be that, Sammy? You agree with me? No. Portable bathrooms are normally vertical, are they not? Yet the dumpsters in the alleyway appear to be horizontal. They would have to figure out a way to change its orientation quickly, and it had to have been heavy. There's also the fact that they, you know, look completely different. Do they? I'll admit I've never used one before. Yeah, I'm not surprised that the prince has never used a porta potty. I mean, I know it's a lot smaller, but a wheelie bin is basically a vertical dumpster. And they empty those quite easily. But I guess a vertical thing the size of one of them giant bins would be difficult. Or at least one that was at least the size of a porta potty. Yeah, I don't want to think about how you'd empty that. I mean, I don't want to think about how you'd put things in it either. You're not really missing out, to be honest. Yeah? Field trip to one next time? I'll pass. Likewise. Alright, Jim. Recycling bin? Probably the right option, I think. They do share a similar shape, right? That's true, though they're usually blue. Ah, they're blue here. That's an important... I mean, it's probably not very important to remember. But... recycling bins are different colours wherever you go. Like, I've seen blue ones, green ones, purple ones. What time of year is this and how dark was that alleyway? At 9 AM when things were being picked up? Probably not very dark, right? I think they can be many different colours, including green. Blue is just the most common. Ah, hurry up and make it illegal to use non-blue ones. I will make sure to prioritise the legislation of recycle bin colours over all the other issues we're currently facing, yes. Sounds like someone might have died because of it. How does that make you feel, Your Royal Highness? That someone died because of a serial killer, actually, which happens to be one of the aforementioned issues I mentioned. Anyway, giant water cooler, huh, Alexei? Are you thirsty or something? No, wait. He's onto something. The shape is similar if you squint. Is it? And the ice in it would be good for throwing off the time of death. Case closed. That's not really where I was going with that, but sure. There was no sign the body was iced. Drat. Foiled again. Anyway. Yeah, I am wondering if we have different definitions of a water cooler. Do water coolers use ice? Maybe I'm thinking of a different kind of water cooler. But I was thinking of those ones with the giant bottle of water that gets put in the top. Which, you know, is a thing you wouldn't really get in an alleyway. Anyway, recycling bin. I think a recycling bin is the most likely possibility. So the mark is supposed to be a faded recycle sign, right? Seems easy enough to disguise. So the garbage collectors came at 9 AM this morning as usual. Perhaps they were new, or perhaps they simply didn't remember that there were supposed to be 2 dumpsters. Even if they did remember, they probably just chalked it up to bad memory. It's not that surprising to find a recycle bin next to a dumpster. They really went through that much trouble just so the body wouldn't have any fall damage? It does seem like a lot of work just to do that. I wonder if there's any other reason they had to make the garbage collectors leave that dumpster alone. Because they were trying to frame Alexei, right? It was so they could hide something behind the dumpster. This is probably dumb, but they also could have hidden something inside the dumpster too, right? There could have been something. Okay, so what about behind? Am I finally right? Well, it's worth considering. I mean, what did you have in mind? It has to be something skinny enough to fit back there, right? You can always move it. Which eliminates me from the possible suspects, by the way. My arms aren't moving anything. No one thinks you did it, Sammy. There are wheels on it, though. I think anyone could have moved the dumpsters. Maybe I did it, then. Okay, or something inside it. It's a bit too obvious, right? Sometimes the most obvious answers are the correct ones. Well, I think it'd be easier if we figured out what exactly they were trying to hide. Okay. Something behind, or something inside. So if you were disguising it so that the garbage collectors didn't pick it up, it really could be either. It depends whether the thing that they were trying to hide was meant to be found with the body or not. But then again, if they just wanted someone to find the body, then you could just have the garbage collectors find it. So yeah, maybe something behind, actually. Actually, Sammy, maybe there is something behind the dumpster. Nope, never mind. Would the garbage collector really have not seen if anything was hidden back there? It may be easy to fool others, but I have a hard time believing that someone standing right next to it wouldn't notice unless it was something small. What could it have been? Misha's ring, maybe? Well, at that point, wouldn't it be underneath? There was no mention of anything being found back there, though. So if they did leave something behind, they must have retrieved it before the police got to the scene. It was early. Maybe the garbage collectors were just tired and didn't see it. Let's not bank this on a trash collector's sleep schedule. Besides, 9 AM isn't even that early. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. 9 AM isn't all that early. I'm gonna be on the side of that. Yes, it is. Come on, Sammy, back me up here. Why should I back up anyone who's poking holes in my argument? Seriously? It appears that you lose. I've never seen someone so smug about that unhealthy lifestyle before. Yeah, 9 AM is early if you stay up till 3 or 4 AM, that's true. But yeah, 9 AM isn't really early. Now 6 AM, that's early. I do not like being awake at 6 AM. Unless I'm on holiday and I have things to do. Okay, something hidden inside. I think they did all of this so they could hide something in the dumpster. Yeah, like what? Well, yeah, the body. Yeah, the body. The body. By throwing off the time of discovery, they could give themselves an alibi if needed. So you're saying that the garbage collectors emptied out the left one without realizing there was a body right next to them? It's possible. The lid covering it helped hide it from view, and bodies don't start smelling that fast. Even if it did rot a little, the trash probably would have helped mask the scent. In that case, there's really only one person who could have set this up. Who is the most likely suspect? Well, if the body was already in there before the garbage collectors came for it, then the person disguising disguising the dumpster must have been person A then. It probably has to be person A. They were the only ones who could have set up the recycle bin trick before the trash collectors came. Sammy, is there any way you can ascertain their identity? No, the video quality is trash. That's alright. I suppose what we have now is enough for me to bring up to reopen the investigation. I imagine they will want to thoroughly investigate the hotel cameras and see whose room that balcony belongs to. I will also have them conduct a test of the white mark on the dumpster. Does that mean Alexei's innocent? Ideally, yes. I'm sure I will hear some complaints that he could have been person A, however. I was with the gang most of the morning before I stepped out to get coffee. Given that they had already done their thing before then, I should be cleared, yeah? Please tell me that your alibi isn't the Dorla gang. You offering to validate my alibi next time? Fine. I will do my best to convince the chief that you lot are trustworthy enough. I don't think you're that much of a miracle maker. Phew. And that's that. A lot of circumstantial evidence, but I think it sounds plausible enough. Besides, we're not the main investigators on the case anyway. If this helps Prince Terry get a more detailed investigation done, then that's enough for me. How are you going to present the information, though? I thought you couldn't act like you're helping Alexei out. That's where I come in. I'll bring it up with the deputy chief. She'll know what to do. You can do that? She likes Jem for some reason. She always listens to his suggestions. She is one of the few on the force that I have no issues with. You're just biased. I think I'm allowed to be a little biased, given she's thrown me behind bars at least 10 times already. 11, actually, counting this morning. Sounds like a you problem. Anyway, seems like there are still a few unsolved mysteries. Like what? Like who called the cops and said I did it? And also who sent me that text. Surely there are more important things to worry about. Nah, how am I gonna pay them back if I don't know who they are? Eye for an eye, as they say. I will pretend I did not hear that. That reminds me. The Blackthorn card also mentioned a warehouse. I believe that may be worth looking into as well. Got it. I'll get a couple of the guys to search around the area. I wonder why Misha's ring was taken. Or why he was even targeted in the first place. We went through everything so fast that I didn't really have a chance to stop and think about it. But is there really a government secret serial killer roaming the streets that the majority of the population doesn't know about? It's almost hard to believe. Misha's done plenty of things to get himself targeted. The only suspicious part of this is I would have thought they'd go after me or Sasha first. Maybe they thought it would be harder to kill you two. Yeah, probably, but Misha's no slouch either. If they managed to take him out, then I hate to say it, but I probably underestimated them. The air is heavy with silence following Alexei's statement. It's one thing to hear about a random serial killer, but it's another to see the people around you actually affected by them. It feels so much more real. We'll be okay. Surprisingly, it's Prince Terry who breaks the silence. We have a hacker, a master disguiser, a detective, and me, of course. He included me? You're really gonna leave me off? Even though I was the main character this time? My apologies. We also have a troublemaker convict over here. Well, that's better than whatever you called me last time. What was it again? Egomaniac gangster? I don't even know what that means. Take a guess. It's exactly what it sounds like. Yeah? Pot me kettle, Terry. Now, that one's definitely wrong. The air shifts just as quickly as before, and the ominous atmosphere disappears. Prince Terry sits on the couch as the boys bicker back and forth, arms crossed and a scowl on his face. But there's no bark behind his words. He managed to shift the mood with just a few words. As expected of the Crown Prince. While I would love to stay and chat, I believe it's time for me to get going. Jem, accompany me? Of course, 1 second. Jem jumps off the couch and runs off to retrieve his disguise. Prince Terry stands up and makes to go after him, but Alexei slides into his way. Hey, I'm counting on you. There's a serious look on his face, and he speaks in a tone quieter than I've ever heard him use. They stare at each other for a few seconds, wordless communication between them built on years of trust. I'm suddenly reminded of what they said back in the cells. Long story short, a lot of people would be happier if we didn't get along. It'd be too much power if we were on the same side, and that would only attract enemies. It's easier if we just didn't associate with each other in public. I've always thought that friendships needed to be showed off, that they only became real if other people saw and validated it. But I can see now that's not always true. I've only known these guys for a short while, but even I can tell they're really close. I'll take care of it. Who do you think I am? You can thank me later by buying my drinks. Not sure why the literal prince of the country is mooching off of me, but okay. He huffs in annoyance, moving away with his hands in his pockets. Just like that, the moment is over. I'm ready to go, Terry. Wonderful. Alexei, they may summon you later once they've done their investigation, so be ready to go. Aye, aye. Ugh. Tiara's gonna chew my ear off, isn't she? Considering how much extra paperwork you've made for her, I believe she has earned that right. She should be angry at you instead. I was perfectly content just chilling in my jail cell. You were just trying to help. You know they would have tried to pin more things on you if you stayed there. Stop being logical, Gem. That's what I'm here for. Alexei rolls his eyes. He gets the last laugh as he puts Gem in a headlock, ruffling through his hair. I laugh as I watch Gem try to free himself, soaking it all in. That was fun. It wasn't even just the detective part. Hanging out with all of them was really enjoyable. I have a hard time clicking with anyone who isn't Theo, but this felt natural. Feeling a little bittersweet, I stand up. Bathroom? Oh, no. I should probably go. Do you have something to do? Yes, she does. It's called her actual job. That she's been skiving off to do this. He seems to have managed to free himself from Alexei's clutches, though his hair is still a bit messy under his cap. Not really, I just... Let her go if she needs to. It'll just be boring administration stuff for the next few hours anyway. You'll be at the celebration later, though, yeah? We're gonna chill and have some drinks. I'm... invited? Yeah? You helped out too, didn't you? Did you think we'd ask for your help and then dump you after it was over? Isn't that normally how this works? They seem to have other expectations, though, judging by the looks they're giving me. Well, I can't deny that I really do want to spend more time with them. Besides, I still haven't figured out what's the deal with that vision yet. So the most logical course of action would be to stick with them for a little bit longer, right? Yeah, that sounds good. Even if they eventually get tired of me, as long as I manage to solve this mystery, then I'll be satisfied. Well, I'd like to stay if you'll have me. Yeah? Good. I wouldn't feel right about you leaving before I could pay you back. Gem, do you mind getting the car first? Okay, sure. See you later, Uni. Promise. Okay, I promise. He runs off with a goofy grin on his face, and I can't help but smile. Detective? He stayed behind to talk to me? Hi, Prince Terry. Thank you for your help. I'll admit that I hadn't anticipated it going quite so smoothly. Oh, it was thanks to all of you. I really didn't do much. Please don't undersell yourself. We couldn't have done it without you. So thank you. And I apologize for not treating you very kindly up until now. No, it's okay. You don't need to apologize. I'm just glad I could be of help. Yes, and I am very grateful for your assistance. Hey, good for you. It looks like you passed his test. Alexei? Oh, no, it's okay. I kind of assumed it was a test anyway. Terry, the car's out front. Jem's voice echoes from the entrance, but Prince Terry surprisingly seems reluctant to leave. You should go, Prince Terry. I should. Then I'll see you tonight at the celebration, Detective. I would be delighted if you could join us. Okay. I wonder what their parties are like. I've only went to a handful in college, usually when some classmates force me to go, but I don't think it'll be anything like those. Excellent. Please feel free to rack up the bill as much as you'd like. Alexei's paying. What? If it weren't for us, you'd be in jail. You're welcome, by the way. Seriously? Where's this party taking place? That is a good question. I guess we might find that out. It's clearly somewhere where you can buy drinks, I guess. The sight of the notoriously evil gangster floundering around makes me laugh, and I can't resist joining in on the ribbing. Well, if Alexei is paying, I really have to go. See? Even she's looking forward to this now. You wouldn't want to disappoint her, would you? Fine, fine, I'll pay this time. You win. Laugh it up while you can. Don't think I didn't notice you weaponizing her against me already. Weaponize? What a cruel thing to say about our new acquaintance. Ah, just shut up and go already. Let me wallow in misery and mourn my wallet. He collapses onto the couch and waves Prince Terry away. Very well. I wouldn't want to keep Jem waiting. He gives me one more nod before turning on his heels and leaving. And there he goes. I glance over at the other two. Alexei is scrolling through his phone, seemingly over it already, while Sammy is lazily going through his computer. Do you think they'll be able to track down Blackthorn? Nah, the police are basically useless. Blackthorn's been running circles around them for years already. They've been around for that long? Mm-hmm. First showed up 5 years ago. The first few murders caused a big stir, but then the government cracked down hard on it. There's been a gag order on all cases since then. Ah, that explains why I had no idea. I was out of the country for college back then. Why'd you go that far anyway? Plenty of good universities here. Not for detectives, no. True. Doesn't seem like they give a shit about detectives here. Ouch. But he's not wrong. Anyway, don't worry too much about Blackthorn. The police might be useless, but now that a member of the gang has been killed, Sasha will start hunting them down. It'll only be a matter of time before we sniff them out. Never thought I'd have a gangster reassure me that he'd catch a serial killer. Come a long way since you thought I kidnapped people and stole things from starving children, yeah? I didn't say that second one. Anyway, should I go buy the drinks? What? You want to get started on the festivities already? No, I meant for later. Unless you guys had the stuff already. I glance over at the kitchen, but I don't see any beverages or party foods. And I do not consent to having my living room used for such purposes. Oh! Is it going to be somewhere else then? I had assumed they could only gather here for secrecy. And it makes sense that they'd want to get out of here. We've been stuck in this room for a while after all. Yeah, of course. How do you feel about Celestial? Oh, we're going to the club. Oh, I've never seen Celestial this empty before. The club's closed for the night, courtesy of Prince Terry renting the entire place out. Apparently he knows the manager of the club very well and trusts him to maintain secrecy. The manager had set a couple bottles of beer in front of us, told us where to find more if we needed any, and then left for the night. A man who knows what his job is and does it well. Can I go home now? Sammy, we just got here! I'm allergic to the outdoors. I thought you said it was sunlight last time. He told me it was milk. At least keep your story straight if you're going to lie. I don't want to hear that from you. I don't lie. I selectively tell the truth. That's even worse. They look much more relaxed than they had earlier. Having the charges against Alexei dropped must have taken a load off their minds. Hey, the charges got dropped. Excellent. I'm kind of surprised how quickly it wrapped up. I guess the police can do it if they put their minds to it. Anyway, it's safer back at the hideout, but we've been cooped up there all afternoon, so I'm not complaining about this change in location. The sound of the door closing stops me in my tracks, and the five of us swivel to look at it in unison, with various degrees of horror. You are really bad at this whole secrecy thing! That's strange. Did he forget to lock the... Oh, this is probably Theo, right? Uni? I blink as a familiar figure shows up near the door. Theo? Girl, are you serious? I've been trying to reach you for the past few hours and this is where you were? I glance at my phone and sure enough, I have some missed calls from Theo. She must have called during our discussion. Oh, sorry. I haven't had the chance to check my phone. It's been a long day. Oh, what about you? Why are you here? The club's closed for the night. I left something here by accident. Theo suddenly seems to notice that we aren't alone, because she looks at everyone around us before giving me a huge grin. A long day, huh? Now this I gotta hear. I glance over at Prince Terry, who smiles politely but looks a little tense, and then back at Theo, who leans against one of the chairs with a smirk on her face. This is my best friend Theo. I know this is asking a lot, but she's trustworthy, so... What? Are you guys worried I'll tell people you were here or something? Don't worry about that. I see all kinds of people here that it's not even worth bragging about anymore. I mean, I even saw your brother the other day. Etienne was here. Oh, right. Prince Terry has a younger brother. He rarely shows up in public, though. But no, he rarely shows up in public, though, so I don't even know what he looks like. It sure was. He's a regular. He is? Anyway, I don't really care why you're here. I get paid to talk, not to pry. Fine, you can stay. Wait, really? Since she is your friend, I will trust your judgment. Is that not what you wanted? No, it is, but I feel a little cheated since I had to work so hard for your trust. It's because Jem gave him an earful earlier about being nicer to you. Alexei, must you insist on trampling on my dignity? I'm literally just saying you're a nice guy. So... She nudges me in the side, an excited look on her face. There's this story I was promised. So I tell her a bit about what transpired today. I have to leave out a lot of the details, so I focus mostly on my own involvement, from stumbling upon the body to meeting the other four. I leave out the jailbreak part, of course. The story has a lot of holes due to the parts I omitted, but Theo doesn't seem to care. She listens excitedly, nodding along and gasping where appropriate, and even cursing Mr. Potato Head out when I tell her what he had said. You weren't kidding when you said you had a hell of a day. I let you out of my sight for a couple of hours and you run off and get involved in all this. Well, hopefully I'll be able to have a nice and quiet few weeks after this. Your eyes light up when you read about dead bodies, girl. I don't think you know what a peaceful life means. Okay, but actual corpses are different. I can say that now, as a dead body expert. What makes you an expert, huh? Ooh, one more than I expected to see on a Tuesday morning. There's the sound of glasses clinking against the table, and I look over to see that Jem has moved several bottles in front of us. I brought some drinks for you ladies. Well, 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 if it isn't Mr. Gemstones himself. You know who I am? Duh, the girls here are crazy about you. I'd be so sad if they knew you were here when the club was closed. Looks like you're pretty popular, Jem. A little embarrassing to talk about my streams in real life, though. Oh, that's Alexei, by the way. Hey there. Hey yourself. I recognize you from your mugshot. Yeah, that's flattering. I glance over at Prince Terry, who has already begun drinking. He gives me a nod before returning to his cup. The bottle in front of him is half empty. Of course the prince is decanting the beer into a cup to drink it and not just swigging straight from the bottle. His Highness over there. I know, and even if I didn't, it's obvious by his choice of beverage. Really? Yeah, that's the most expensive thing we have on the menu. Son of a bitch! Says the person paying for it. Prince Terry acts like he doesn't hear him, though I can see the corners of his mouth quirk up slightly. If it's the most expensive thing on the menu at a club like this, it's probably champagne actually, rather than beer. And finally, there's Sammy. Actually, where did he go? I look around for him and finally find him in the corner of a booth, melting into the seat. I reach out and poke his cheek to see if he's awake, and he lets out a groan in response. Hi, Sammy. Is he okay? Yeah, that's normal. He deflates when he steps outside of his house. Luckily, I was able to tempt him here with free booze. Really? Not a lot of drinking going on right now, though. You sure he's not just wasted? Sammy sits up with a speed I've never seen him move at before and picks up one of the bottles of cheap beer on the table. I wouldn't get drunk off of this. Oh yeah? Alright, I'll call your bluff. Drink up. First to give. Ooh, you're challenging me. Real ballsy, aren't you? Oh, wait, Sammy, she really knows how to hold her liquor, so maybe that's not a good idea. No take-backs. Wouldn't dream of it. Bottoms up. The two of them stare at each other, and then in unison, they both grab the nearest bottle to them and tip it back. I expected that Sammy would be competitive, but I didn't think he'd get serious about something like drinking. Well, I'm just glad Pio's getting along with them. Though that shouldn't be a surprise. She's charismatic enough to be friendly with most people. I watch as Theo and Sammy both reach for the same bottle, glare at one another, and then accidentally knock it off the table while trying to wrestle it from each other. Never mind. I feel like I'm watching a disaster slowly unfold. Hey, girl! What you doing? Drink up! Drink up! Oh wait, Theo, it's overflowing! Theo frowns, apparently taking my statement as a challenge, and then tries again. She completely misses the cup this time, and I yelp and quickly scoot away before any of it can splash on me. She's completely sloshed. Just slightly tipsy. You fine. I'm a professional at destroying my body. It's used to it by now. Oh, wait, you actually won. Let's call it a draw. He does look like he's faring better than Theo, but his cheeks are reddened and his eyes slightly unfocused. Still, the fact that you went glass for glass with someone who drinks for a living makes me a little worried. He cheated, obviously. Cope. You talk funny, you know that? I don't want to hear that from someone who's slurring all her words. Sammy suddenly stands up and Theo and I look at him questioningly. Where are you going? bathroom. I'm gonna puke my guts out. He disappears before either of us can say anything. The wine here is simply exquisite. Wouldn't you agree, Alexei? Got another beer over here. You sure you're gonna be okay there, gamer boy? Okay. Then again, I suppose any glass shared with comrades will taste special. Ugh, what comrades? Fine. Oh. Guess I'm not getting those motorcycle upgrades after all. You could at least pretend not to be happy about bleeding me dry. Try walking through the door instead of the wall next time. Why would I not be happy about receiving your generous goodwill? I'm gonna stab you in the back one of these days. Please don't. I worked really hard to get you declared innocent. It's so lively here. I've been smiling so much my cheeks hurt. I'm really glad I took the chance today. In another universe, maybe I never went to the jail. Maybe I waited for Mr. Potato Head and returned to work instead. The me in that universe is probably lying in bed right now, aimlessly scrolling through her phone, not knowing what she's missing out on. That could have easily been me if I had decided differently. I still don't know exactly what that vision is, or why I saw it in the first place, but I'm kind of thankful for it. I would have never been in this position without it. Life works out in strange ways, doesn't it? Suddenly wanting to talk some more, I glance around to see where everyone's at. They're mostly sitting by themselves now, cradling their own drinks and enjoying the atmosphere. I should join one of them. I quickly notice that the star of the show is looking rather gloomy in the corner. I make my way over. Alexei shoots me a sour look, but thankfully doesn't stop me from sitting down next to him. How many? Huh? Which glass is that? Lie and give me a number less than 5. Oh, it's my first one. I'm not a big drinker, and unfortunately I have work tomorrow. At least, I hope I still have work. Mr. Potato Head might just fire me tomorrow morning, and I wouldn't even be able to complain this time. You're my favourite person in the world. Yeah, I was kind of expecting a choice, but maybe it's gonna send me to see Alexei because I went with Alexei earlier, I guess. By the way, how did it go? Alexei had left for the police station an hour or two ago. I thought the whole ordeal would take longer, but barely 30 minutes after he'd left, I received a text message telling me everything had been taken care of. The whole thing was just a formality. By the time I got there, they already knew I wasn't the one who did it. They actually tried to kick me out because they were too busy investigating the new info Jem brought in. Something about monitoring the hotel security cameras to see if they could catch the culprit. I doubt Blackthorn would be so careless, but whatever floats their boat. He shrugs, looking decidedly unconcerned about the serial killer. They work surprisingly quickly. Only because Shiara got on their asses. You'll learn that this nation's police doesn't do shit unless you pressure them. Usually their lackluster work ethic works out in my favour though, so I'm not complaining. I've never met this Chiara before, but she honestly sounds terrifying. So yeah, got there, signed some papers, almost got thrown back in prison again for making fun of their incompetence. You know, the usual fanfare. You like to live on the edge, huh? I'm a gangster, girlie. Making fun of the cops is in the job description. He sits back in his seat and tips the bottle back, making a face when he realizes that it's empty. Did you let your gang know that everything was taken care of? Yeah, dropped by the office before I came here. And everything was okay? Yeah? What did you expect was gonna happen? I don't know. A continuation of when we left? Nah, they're dumb, but they don't have a death wish. Anyway, I told them I was off the hook. They were awfully sorry for not believing in me, and even more sorry when I told them to take care of my paperwork for the next week. Yeah, I guess they were all okay. I guess he only knocked them out a little bit. You guys really have that much paperwork? Yeah, we're a loan company, remember? Uh-huh. Nah, I'm serious. Fighting and gang work isn't profitable nowadays. We've had to branch out these past few years. We're corporate now. Real businessmen you all are. You don't believe me, do you? Not at all. I also don't believe him. What'll it take to convince you, seeing me in a suit and a tie? You know I pull that off pretty well. We don't want to take a loan from him. It'll be far too high, interest rate. Anyway. I mean, honestly, I'm pretty sure he could pull off a suit very well, or like, he probably could pull off anything very well. How flirty are we being today? Let's go with very. I'm sure you could pull off anything well. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Now I'm embarrassed. Yeah, flattery will get you everywhere. You ever wear one? A suit? I don't think so. Never really had the chance to. You're missing out. Terry and Jem both have a couple. One of these days we should get you in one. You're not offering your own? It's not going to be remotely your size, Uni. Sure, if you don't mind some mysterious and savoury substances stuck to it. What was it you said you were? A proper businessman, was it? The world would be a happier place if all businessmen were allowed to throw hands, honestly. I mean, I feel like fighting in a suit is a lot more difficult. Hey. I glance up from where I'm trying to get through this new citrus-flavoured drink that randomly appeared in front of me. I expect another smug remark. He's been making fun of me for a while now about my inability to handle the aftertaste. But the look on his face is surprisingly thoughtful. Thanks for everything. I mean it. What's with the sudden farewell speech? The unexpected seriousness of the conversation throws me off enough to pop an ill-timed joke, but thankfully he doesn't seem to mind. Nah, baby, you aren't getting rid of me that easily. But I just wanted to make sure you knew I appreciated it. You did more for a stranger than I've done for most people my whole life. Don't worry about it. It was for my own benefit too, remember? Oh, I guess I can't even include it as work experience since it was a private case. Ah. Regretting helping me already? No, but I will never follow you into the dollar office again. You sure about that? It's unavoidable if you start working there. Huh? Why would I ever work there? He slings his arm across the back of the booth behind me, close enough that I can feel his body heat. Obviously, because there's a spot for you in the gang if the detectiving stops working out. I'll even vouch for you. Ah, recruiting, are you, Alexa? Uh-huh. Never in my wildest dreams did I imagine myself getting recruited to a gang, even as a joke. You can be our next star debt collector. After me, of course. What? I thought you meant the paperwork part. Boring! Leave it to the grunts to do that. Fieldwork's more fun, yeah? With these noodle arms, people will be collecting money from me. You gave up your chair strategy already? That would require me to have a chair at all times, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah. Tell you what, I'll teach you some self-defense tricks later, yeah? No chairs required. That is true. Fieldwork is, in general, way more fun. Except I don't think I like the idea of this kind of fieldwork. They're easy enough that someone like me can do them? Why not? Not everything relies on brute strength. Okay, I might take you up on that then. Sweet! I'll turn you into the most fearsome fighter the streets have ever seen. People will be cowering at the mere sight of you. It'll be epic. Okay, maybe we don't need to go that far. What was that noise? I mean, it sounded like microphone feedback. It's not hard to find out where it's coming from. Theo has climbed onto the stage and started belting out a solo. I quickly make my way over before she can do any more damage with her karaoke. And by karaoke, I mean her singing undecipherable lyrics into the mouth of an empty champagne bottle while swinging around the room. You're going to have such a nasty hangover tomorrow. It's okay. I don't work until tomorrow night anyway. Free drinks are free drinks. If I don't drink them now, when am I ever gonna get the opportunity again? She's pretty clingy when she's drunk, but I find it cute. Theo acts very professional and cool normally, so it's nice to see her let go and have some fun. It also helps that she relies on me more too. Don't your patrons normally buy you drinks? Yeah, they're also stingy nowadays. I ask them if they want refills, but all they want to talk about is the stupid virus and the stupid politics and the stupid royal family. Wait, Theo, shh! I quickly glance over to make sure she isn't executed on the spot for treason, but Prince Terry just waves it off before going back to making patronising comments about Alexei's attempted champagne tower. It's gotten that bad? It doesn't look very stable, does it? Don't worry, I got this. Yeah, everyone on such a downer. I don't want to hear another story about how the dude's emotionally cheating on his wife with me and... Hey, can I have that? She points at one of the unopened bottles, already reaching for it. I nod and switch out the alcohol for a glass of water when she's not looking. Judging by the way she chugs it down, I don't think she noticed. Oh, it almost fell. Right. Once I make enough money, let's just move to a farm together, far away from any icky people. Sure, but how am I going to do detective work if there's no one around? Unless you're going to make mysteries for me. Nah, trust. See, just one more. Nope, not smart enough for that. You'll figure it out instantly. I wouldn't say that. What's going on? Oh, cool. Jenga? Ooh, no. Champagne Jenga sounds like a terrible idea. Girl, don't even start with me. You were top of the class in high school. Sammy, don't... She suddenly stops talking, expression serious, and grabs my shoulders with both hands. Are you okay? You're not going to throw up, are you? Yeah, I do like the side chats. Hearing what else is going on with the others. It's kind of cool. Uni? Yes? What if someone steals the carrots? Could you figure out who did it? If we were the only ones living on the farm, then yes, it'd be you. Drat. She collapses on the floor dramatically, and I laugh and sit down next to her. It was such a good idea, too. I'm sure I'd be glad if I suffered through 4 years of college and 2 years of Mr. Potato Head to fulfill my dream of becoming the carrot detective. You could become Sherlock Holmes, and even that wouldn't be enough to justify Mr. Potato Head's reign of terror. Speaking of him, he's probably gonna let me have it tomorrow. I kind of just ran off to pay and never returned. Oof, girl. You know what you need? I don't need another drink. I wasn't even going to say that. Jeez, your opinion of me is trash. Maybe try saying that when you aren't surrounded by empty beer bottles. Well, anyway, one of the girls gave me a book on meditation yesterday. Maybe you can just disassociate during one of his lectures. That actually sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll take you up on that. Here, let me send you the link to it. She tries to type in her password, but her fingers are shaking too much that she almost locks herself out. I gently pry the phone out of her grasp. I'll do it for you, okay? Uni... I think I might be wasted. I know. Oh, I didn't know you still had this as your background. Ah, look at them being all cute and in school. We were so cute. When was this again? Second year of high school, right? Oh, I'm drunk out of my mind. You have a photographic memory. Yeah, I wasn't really asking. Look at our matching uniforms. So cute. You insisted on wearing yours all the time, remember? Don't remind me. I take one last look at the wallpaper before texting the link to myself, returning her phone to her. Yeah? You've come a long way, you know. You used to be so shy you'd never talk to anyone. I'm glad you're feeling more comfortable with yourself now. Theo. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised. I didn't think you had it in you. I only looked away for a few moments and you're all grown up now. Since when did you get so brave? Okay, Theo, that's enough. Hey. Her voice suddenly goes quiet as she leans in. I can still smell the alcohol in her breath, but her eyes are surprisingly sharp and serious despite her smiling face. They're not pressuring you into this, are they? Huh? I know I said I wasn't going to pry earlier, but I'd be blind if I didn't notice that this was a weird group. You okay? You didn't get caught up in something dangerous, did you? Blackthorn's image flashes in my mind and I wave it away, but not quickly enough. Theo frowns, taking my silence as an answer, and starts to stand up. Theo's great, I love her. I lunge forward without thinking, grabbing her wrist to stop her. No, I mean, it's okay. I'm fine. Theo looks at me patiently, prompting me to continue. She's right though. Even though I've been trying not to think about it, I can't deny that there's a high probability the four of them are involved in more serious things. Do I trust them, despite that? Some things have happened, yeah, but I don't think they'd hurt me. I don't have anything to back that up, but it's just a feeling I'm getting. It's a rather weak proclamation. Theo remains quiet, and I feel my conviction fading away. If you don't think so, then maybe I should... Uni. Yeah? If you think they're trustworthy, then that's enough for me. Oh, I thought you'd put up more of a fight. Why? I don't know, you're usually so suspicious of everyone. Well, I know how much that brain of yours likes to overthink. You'll start second-guessing yourself if I say anything. Well, she's not wrong about that. Leave the overthinking to me. You just focus on having fun, okay? You deserve to. Well, since you said it, I guess I have to now. I relax a little. Theo may not know it, but her approval means more to me than anything else. I guess the saying is true. Love changes you. Huh? Love? Of course! You met those four hot studs and completely changed. You're not trying to tell me it's not related, are you? I haven't even known them for a day yet. Theo completely ignores my protests and barrels on. You never get close to people, yet now you're voluntarily hanging out? Seems suspicious if you ask me. Don't think I didn't notice you leaving out all the juicy bits in your story earlier. And you always say you don't have the knack for being a detective. This isn't being a detective. It's called being nosy. So, which one are you interested in? Theo! She nudges me with her shoulder and gives me a big grin that I know means I am not getting out of this that easily. give me a quick rundown before I pass out. Luckily, Theo falls asleep pretty quickly, so I don't have to tell her too much. The club is quieter now, and I realize that the evening is winding down. It's several hours past midnight already. I glance over at the table the four of them are sitting at. Prince Terry seems to have finished draining Alexei's wallet dry, though the two of them are still arguing about something or other. Gemma's on the other side of the table, wiping it down, while Sammy points out the dirty spots. I wish this moment could last forever. No, don't think like that. Everything has to come to an end. But still, it felt too short. I'm reaching over for Theo, who is slumped over with her eyes closed, when my hand brushes up against something on the floor. What's this? It looks like some kind of dog? Ah. How did you move over here so fast? Is that Poacher in number 5? The one with only 50 copies in circulation? The one, the only, Pompadour? Personal space, Sammy? Oops. He continues to stare excitedly at the sticker, hands balled into fists in front of him as if resisting the urge to reach for it. You can have it if you want. I found it on the floor. He snatches the sticker away before I even finish talking and cradles it to his chest like a baby. Oh no, you've gone through so much. How could they treat you like this? I guess even Sammy can get excited about things. For you. Huh? Didn't you say there's only 50 of them? Mm-hmm. I don't think this then. You're the fan, you should have it. It's fine. Just let me look at it sometime. Are you sure? He nods, though it looks like it takes some serious willpower for him to give it back to me. Do me a favor in return. Yeah, of course. What is it? There are others lost in the wild. I want you to collect them for me. Ooh, a side quest. Ah, I see. You just don't want to go outside. Why would I need to go outside if I have you? I think about turning him down. He really should get more sunlight. But it's a little hard to do when he's looking at me like this. Fine, if I see any while I'm going around, I'll pick them up. I'm not going to go out of my way to find them, though. That's fine. I feel like I just agreed to something annoying. Oh well, these things are pretty cute, so I guess it wouldn't hurt to keep an eye out. Uni has acquired a Butcherin sticker, but there are still many left in the world. If you come across any, simply click on it and it will get added to the Butcherin menu, accessible from the main menu. Each one has an associated side story you can view. These are optional and revolve around the daily life of our main cast, so pick and choose which ones you want to view. By the way, the Pompadour side story has been added this time. Ooh, side story. I really need to go get some more water. This demo is way longer than I thought it was going to be. I'll be right back. And I'm back. After that, I tried to stall some more by going around and talking to everyone, but I can't prolong it for much longer. The guys seem ready to leave too, putting on their jackets and cleaning everything up. I yawn a couple times, trying to help out, but I feel like I'm moving at half their speed. It's been a long day. Want me to walk you home? Nah, it's okay. Theo and I live nearby. Yeah, wish I could say the same. Terry, want me to drive you back? That would be wonderful. Thank you. You're not going to offer to drive me too? I'm sorry. Even if it's late, I don't think it's a good idea if you two are seen in the same vehicle. He'll be fine. He can run back home. He's a freak of nature. You know, this celebration for me doesn't feel very celebratory. Hey. Hi. You look a little sad. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I just wanted to know why. I guess I'm just sad that the night is over. I wish it could have gone on a little longer. I had a lot of fun with you guys. The silence that meets my statement is uncomfortable, and I quickly scramble to say something else. Stupid uni, when will you learn? You should have just kept your mouth shut. You always drive people away by acting desperate. They obviously don't feel the same. Oh, see, Jam? You didn't need to worry at all. Huh? Jem here was worried you'd find all of us annoying and wouldn't want to see us again. Well, I'd say... Payback for not driving me back. Well, it's true. I mean, you only met us because of the case, so I wasn't sure if you'd find our personalities overbearing. Not at all. In fact, today has been the most fun I've had in ages. Really? You two overthink things way too much. You'll drop by tomorrow, yeah? Don't invite people over to my house. Fine, you do it then. Come over tomorrow. I want to see that picture and sticker. Please don't tell me you've converted her as well. You're just a hater. I'm not. You should be thankful I haven't made those monstrosities illegal yet. Literally hater behavior. They all look at me and I smile back, a feeling of relief settling inside me. Yeah, not so secret hideout, right? Or maybe it's just because we're part of the gang now, so it doesn't need to be a secret from us. That wasn't supposed to be funny. I know, I wasn't laughing at you, I was just... I gesture aimlessly. I'm not even sure what exactly I'm trying to say, but they seem to understand anyway. Get some sleep then, girlie. Let's grab a bite together tomorrow, yeah? Okay. See ya then. Wait, can you carry me? Nah. Sammy sulks a bit as Alexei leaves, mumbling something under his breath all the way. But he stops at the door and gives me a small wave over his shoulder before he too disappears into the night. He's going to be okay, right? Well, we should get going too. Come on, Terry. get parked in the back. Alright. Good night then, Detective. Be careful on your way home. You too, Prince Terry. Bye! The two of them leave, and then it's just me and a sleeping Theo left. Alright, Theo. It's her turn to leave now. I sling her arm over my shoulder like usual. She mumbles something into my neck and sags her whole weight against me. But I don't complain like I normally do. I'm so happy that nothing can ruin this evening for me. No! Don't do it! God. Right now? Yeah, I can't hold it. Come on, Theo, you drink every day, don't you? This is nothing for you. Oh no. If you puke on me, I will never forgive you. I know you had fun tonight, but try to take care of yourself, okay? You aren't that young anymore. What are you going to do when I'm not here to drag you home? I don't need to worry about that. You'll always be there for me. Theo! Wait! Don't try to flatter your way out of this. Also, I heard that at the end. I won't be there for you if you throw up on me. I'm serious. I guess I'll hold it in then. I wouldn't want to lose you. That shouldn't be the only thing holding you back from vomiting on someone. Huh? Ah, why did you randomly stop? Nothing. I just thought I heard something move. I just thought I saw something move. I glance over at the alleyway. Even though it's dark, I can still see to the back wall due to the lights. Ah yes, this is the alleyway. I guess it is quite wide and reasonably well lit, huh? I don't see anything. Yeah, that's weird. I could have sworn that door, a guy died here, right? Maybe it's his ghost. Okay, we're leaving now. I'm gonna pretend I didn't hear that. Shouldn't detectives not believe in ghosts? Obviously ghosts aren't real, but just because you know something to be true doesn't mean you can stop your brain from thinking otherwise. You're right. Just like I know I shouldn't drink this much, I still... Hold it in, Theo! I guess there was someone down this alley. I was almost spotted. That would have been real bad, wouldn't it? After all, my face would have scared her, don't you think? Wow, I can't believe he actually looks like the cat. Sheesh, tough crowd today. Why are you sulking over there? I thought you'd be happy. It's going exactly as you wanted. Something's wrong. Why is she acting like that? What was that? Are you having second thoughts already? No? Oh, really? Even though you went out of your way to send that text? Even though you tipped off the police? Why'd you do that, I thought you wanted to be uninvolved, No reason. Well, keep your secrets if you want. I'll figure them out soon enough. Well then, dear Uni, enjoy your happiness while you still have it. Uh-oh. He knows her name. That's not good. After all, it won't last forever. But you'd know that, wouldn't you? Alright! There we are. That's the end of the demo. As it says here, the Kickstarter begins tomorrow, October 22nd, and goes to November 21st. If it's successful, the full game is estimated to come out in 2026. You'll find a link to the Kickstarter in the description box of the stream, if you want to go check that out. You'll also find a link to the Steam page there too, as well as itch.io. And yeah, I guess that's it. Oop. Great. You can now skip the deduction section if you replay. You might even get a few lines at the end if you do all the routes. I might do that off stream. We don't have time to do it otherwise. The side story is also accessible from the main menu. I'll also leave that off if you want to go check out that. Or the other investigations. Why not go play the demo for yourself? If the full game comes out, will I be playing it on stream? That depends on how the developers feel about that. We'll have to see. Alright, we can just click it. Let's see, we can just click on all those investigation ones now. I'm actually going to... Can I save here? I'm gonna save here just for myself. So that I can just jump to those things at a later point. And anyway, I'm going to head back to the main menu because I'm going to end the stream here. So yes, thank you very much for watching. It's been fun. If you're new here and you've enjoyed your time, please consider subscribing to the channel. Also, if you're interested in this game, check out the links that are in the description. So, you can also follow me on social media, that's also in the description. A lot of links in there. The streaming schedule for this channel, it's both over on my social media and over here on YouTube in the community tab for this channel. The next scheduled stream is Wednesday, 7 PM, because it's a new event in Twisted Wonderland, so let's check out Playful Land. And yeah, hope to see you then, or some other time. Once again, thanks for coming, and this is Kalla signing out. See ya! Bye bye!